Hello, and we are live. I don't know why we're having a rougher start this time, but here we go. It's Sunday morning, and we've got that phone in there. Is it in there?
Yep.
All right. Hi. Can you see me? Follow my voice. No, so I'm Rickie Jones, and you know that. And here you are at my Sunday morning, live from the living room. Sunday morning, well, Sunday noon, because everybody's playing music now from their homes, and the trains are coming, and there's so much noise. So I thought I'd do it at noon, a kind of, our little church, and also for all the folks in Europe who, can't come to the Friday night one. Anyway, I found this about, you can see, 10 or 12 years ago, in this town somewhere between Nevada. Hello. Thing in a little town between Nevada and California. And when I read it at the time, it said everything that I felt about the spiritual, the moral, spiritual aspect of our existence together. And I just wanted to share a couple of things that I thought were helpful. This says, that which has been hidden through the ages is now being revealed. We've been training for this current period on earth for lifetimes. This is not a lifetime where we're going to be taught anything new. It's a lifetime when we're going to remember what we already know. We are on the front lines of healing the planet. If you think of yourself that way, that you're on the front lines of healing the planet, what you doing back there, boy? The audience is drunk, I guess. If you think of yourself that way, that you're on the front lines of healing the planet, then everywhere you go, you send out a little bit of that energy. I'll just play a song. My guitars have been having trouble staying in tune, but we'll see if we can keep it in tune. Someone requested this a few times, so I wanted to play it for her. It's called Night Train, and it is about my mom and my grandma and my family. Walking with my baby, I guess I'm in the wrong end of the 8-ball again, where the devil is right behind us, and the worker said, you wanna take my baby, my angel back, but they won't get you. 'Cause I'm right here with you on the night train. valley, I'll be reaching up for you, so don't let them take me back. Broken like volumes and chops in the rain that cry. There's a blue horizon sleeping in a station. The ticket for a train, maybe mine will deliver me there. Yeah. Here she comes right now. Yeah, mama. Oh, my mama. Concrete is wheeling by at the end of a lullaby on a night train. Concrete is wheeling by down at the end of a lullaby on a night train. Yeah. When my mother was 2 or 3 years old, her mama had to run away with her because the social worker came to take all the children away. And they went running across the cornfield, Grandma with her baby in her arms. And that song was inspired by that moment. I'm going to change guitars here. I'll be right back. Hold on one second. I told you they're just having trouble staying in tune. So anyway, I wanted to start with that song from my grandmother, and now it gets centered again. The audience has settled down. Everybody's in their seats. So I think I'm going to go over to the piano, and I wanted to read from the book. So take this and the book. Thank you. All right. Sundays, okay. So I have a book coming out. It's called The Last Chance Texaco. It's on Grove Books. We're doing the pictures right now, getting the last pictures in, but I wanted to read the introduction to you. I might tell you a little bit about the history of songs I've written, and I don't know. I named this book The Last Chance Texaco because I spent most of my life in cars staring at the road ahead. I played in the back seat. I won the shotgun position, and finally, I drove a car of my own. From these vantage points, I watched life approach and recede. I was always running away from and moving toward a new life. And once I finally got there, I could never lay down roots. For me, it seems life is the vehicle and not the destination. The meaning of The Last Chance Texaco is simple. It is the light in the distance that never turns away a tired traveler on a dark road. You can trust your car to the man who wears the star, sang the old commercial. An important backstory many people today do not know. The big bright Texaco star. I used the familiar signposts and lingo of my generation to build the lyric of Texaco, and in fact, most of my early songs make reference to obscure Americana that's been set aside today. But we know who we are. When my young life seemed to nosedive into the desert sands of Hollywood, going nowhere fast, I raised that star, that Texaco star, like a pirate flag, and overtook my future against all odds. The man with the star was as much Christ as it is a lover or a stranger in a gas station. Whoever it is, you need to put your trust in tonight. The Last Chance Texaco remains a kind of living spirit to me, a whisper of belief in impossibilities. Now, when I was 23 years old, I drove around LA with Tom Waits. We'd cruise along Highway 1 in his new 1963 Thunderbird with my blonde hair flying out the window and both of us sweating in the summer sun. And it was a very hot summer, 1978 or 77. The alcohol seeped from our pores and the sex smell still soaked our clothes and our hair. We liked our smell. I did not bathe as often as I would later in life. Well, we were in love, and I, for one, was not interested in washing any of that off. By the end of summer, we were exchanging song ideas, and we were also exchanging something deeper, each other. Tom had 2 tattoos on his bicep, one that had a little space for a name. He liked to don the vintage accoutrement of masculinity, the sailor hat, and Bernardo's pointed shoes. You know, I probably shouldn't use a word I'm not sure how to pronounce, but he, like me, liked to dress out of his father's generation. And it gave us both a sexual identity that I don't think we possessed without it. Just being a kid who grew up in a nondescript suburban home. What are we then? So we made ourselves up, and we both made ourselves up from the same closet. The more he tried to conceal his tenderness, the more he revealed a chafed and childlike nature. I adored him. He was my king. In bed, he was the greatest performing lion in the world. I mean to say that Tom was never not performing. And then quite suddenly in November, we were no longer seeing each other. I spent the fall driving around with Lowell George then, the charismatic guitarist from Little Feat, local hero who kept his little feet in the street, as it were. He found me there in my squalid basement encampment up under the Hollywood sign, and we went driving around in his Range Rover, perched high above the street, studying various motels and apartments where he had spent time with Linda and Rickie and Bonnie too. He showed me the hotel I would live in one day, the Chateau Marmont, an empty and derelict hotel back then, nothing like it is now. And we sat in the living rooms of managers who would load him up with drugs for the chance to put his signature, his blood, on paper. He flirted with them all like a child flirts with the devil, toying with their furious, drugged-up machinations and escaping like a child called home by mother just before he signed his soul away. Lowell seemed unconcerned about his own mortality. The play was the thing, and that boy could play the guitar. I remember one night after a lot of drugs, and I'd been swimming in a pool pretending I was Marilyn Monroe. I came out and said, maybe we could go home now, and he was sitting there in the living room on a chair like this with his guitar, and he played 2 songs there for me and the manager, Willin and this. Well, hello, give me missing persons. They say, what is it that you need? I say, oh, I need him so. They say, you gotta stop your pleading, 'cause no matter what you do, you could pray to heaven above, but all you'll ever get from him is long distance love. I read the papers and I got the blues. I was so sad to hear the news. Help wanted, but not enough, man. These times are getting rough. 'Cause no matter what you do, even pray to heaven, all you'll ever get from her is long distance love, long distance love, long distance love. In my tiny twin bed, Lowell was a fat man in a bathtub. I mean to say that there was something about him that was always in another room, laughing and singing to himself. He was a handsome man, unhealthy, kind of to a fault. By June, we did not speak much anymore. The next summer I drove around with Dr. John. It was a very different kind of car, a station wagon used to take his kids to school and bring groceries home to his wife, Libby. He'd been married a few times and he had a number of sprouts. He called his kids sprouts. He also had a ghost with him, a thing that followed him, watched him from behind curtains in the hotel rooms and the plastic-backed chairs in the diners we visited, where he fed me head cheese and gumbo. I mean to say that it was his addiction. By the end of summer, he'd left his companion with me, and I did not drive around with anyone anymore. I am Bragger and Junior Lee. Was there I always thought we'd be. In the Winston lips of September, how we met. Decked out like aces, beat anybody's bet. We were Coolsville. We were Coolsville. Now you stick it here, you stick it there, but it never fits. The hungry night wants more, 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 more. Now you're chipping. Your little kisses. I jumped all his jokers and he trumped all my tricks. I swear to God he was fine enough to stick it into Coolsville for me, Daddy. To stick it into Coolsville, they don't dare, but what the thing gonna be? Oh, whoa, 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 yeah. Oh, whoa, oh, whoa, 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 yeah. Also, by the way, to the Bible, the Bible say, yeah, I'm hiding. 'Cause it's J&B and me, okay, it's not the same, but I don't mind. I'd sit it on the herd, 'cause everything feels the same. The real thing come and the real thing go. When the real thing, she came back to town. Don't you just wanna know the way to Coolsville? Well, I hear you wanna go back to Coolsville. Well, you come on and I take you back. I remember walking in Chinatown with Mac, and we walked into this dry goods place, and he said, "Oh, I can smell the dope in here." He said, "When you're a dope fiend as long as me, you just know when it's there." I was innocent, you know, streetwise, but so innocent. What did I know? The apex of my love life corresponds to my career's success, and unfortunately, my success corresponded with my drug use. My drug career was short-lived, 3 years, from 1980 to 83. But that's a lot, because I was chipping with that drug in 1979. You know, you try to minimize the impact in front of your own eyes. I quit it and headed to France, but the damage was done. I did drugs, mostly just one drug, like everything else, on fire with no back door. I escaped, of course. I carried my heart out in a bird cage. But she was burned, and she cried so loud, cast her wild notes over water and cloud. Freed of such beauty, she waited to be freed of her sorrow. Maybe that is the picture I saw. I turned it into poetry and song lyrics. What else could I do? By the following spring, Waits and I were back together. I remember driving down La Brea Avenue from the airport. Tom and Chuck E., liked to pick me up at the airport. Well, there was plenty of traffic this one day, so when Chuck E.'s In Love came on the radios echoed across the stoplights and the exhaust pipes. It seemed like the whole block was playing Chuck E.'s In Love. We looked at each other, the three of us, me riding in the middle. What a moment. We were the last Neanderthals, the holdouts of the Tropicana Hotel. Once Tom and I moved in together, a way of life ended. Eskimos began migrating south, and all the mammoths died away. Not much left of our old town. I would call him Hey Bob. He had a little place he kept for me, and he would tell me, boy, he was so in love. He moved us to a home there, a place where he'd take care of me. I'd always know where he'd be. Hey, bub. My 1957 Lincoln got broke that summer by Chucky and Mark Vaughn, my old boyfriend. They went out joyriding while I was on tour, my first tour. I don't know why I'm talking there. I talked to you. My first tour. When Tom and I broke up, Tom ditched his Cadillac, and for all I know, his T-Bird, in a self-storage, and I left my roughed-up Lincoln with a nurse up north. She had worked at the hospital where I nearly died from a heart infection. I quit driving around with people and rented cars instead, lived in hotels. For a long time, I looked over my shoulder thinking there was someone behind me, just the shade of the demon. I was sober, but something was following me. I turned my eyes forward then and looked toward the desert. There's always a desert in front of me. That's where I grew up. Monotony can erase identity. Yeah? The most important thing is not where you were going, but remembering where you started. We are markers on the road for everybody. I am halfway there. I am twice as far as I was yesterday. That math we use to figure out who we are. Comparison. I've come this far. I fell this far. That is my name. Remember where you came from. There's no other way to remember who you are. Is there? This song was on the magazine inspired by some stories of my big sister and my brother. Hope I don't hit this too loud. Once I had a little lamb who always followed me around. Way I treated my little lamb, I was like the Marquis de Sade, and I knew the clown. Well, I guess I hurt him. I guess I hung up. I guess I maybe could have called him back, but I guess I didn't care. Maybe I left him there. Maybe a woman just act like that. Well, what's the matter? Hey, baby, baby, what's the matter? Don't you want me? Yeah, now Can't get back on my seat. I'm gonna play this song till I get it right. Why don't you find yourself a new boy? Treat him special. Oh, no, that's not right. Why don't you find yourself a better man and treat him special all the time? Make him some catfish fried up in bed. Don't leave him hanging on the telephone line, but keep your secrets in your own heart. Keep all your old linen to yourself, and you keep your bank account. You don't have to worry about what you give him. Might work out well, but what's the matter? Hey, baby, what's the matter? You look so funny, what's the matter? Now, baby, well, breaking up a lot, so that was what inspired that. When I wrote that, I had it in, I've always wanted to write for other people, and inexplicably, there's maybe 5 or 6 people who have ever recorded any of my songs, but that song I wrote with the Supremes in mind. They had long disbanded, of course, but can't you hear the lovely Diana Ross sing? Once I had a dear man, always follow me around. The way I treated mine, I can't really do her because she's so unique, but she's back there somewhere. She has a deceivingly her songs are deceivingly difficult, and she makes them sound so easy. I have a lot of respect for Diana Ross. I think that the glamour of her show might have made people take her less seriously, and the uniqueness of her voice. It's a I won't get into that, but I think she's really great and one of the very important rock singers, or one of the important singers. So says I. I want to grab a drink of water. Do you mind throwing that thing over there? Thank you, sir. You're so kind to me. Thank you. I do want to play some more. It's taken me a little longer to get into my comfy zone. And I've been thinking about why, and I think it has to do with showing up at a particular time and the expectations of that, whether it's you guys out there, whoever you invisible people are, or whether I got to meet somebody. There's a weird kind of pressure. And I've just been thinking about it and appearing without, when I do the videos without making letting you know I'm going to be there, I have a really good time. And so I'm trying to sneak up on it. Not that I'm not having a great time, but so how could I have a crazy good time? Well, one would be to not do the pacing thing and not keep trying to make it roll and just sit and talk to you for a second. When, Sundays used to be my hard days, but I really looked forward to them. I would cry all day Sundays, as if, all the tears that had built up all week or all month long, I just had to cry. We liked, Charlotte and I, my daughter, we liked to put on The Lady in White and watch it cry. I got to meet the writer and director of that movie in Italy. What a sweet guy! He did a few things, but I think he did anyway. But that movie, like Catcher in the Rye, he did this one beautiful thing, and it's for kids. But as far as I'm concerned, a lot of the better work out there is for kids. And it's almost like if it's for adults, it's just going to show people fucking or killing each other. That's what it is to be an adult. So I would rather watch for kids myself, generally speaking. So I'm going to play another song here. I'd like to be a little higher, but my pillow keeps falling off. There we are. Oh, I know. I haven't done this song in a long time. And this song I wrote at a monastery in Olympia, Washington. My friend Julie Lindgren was working for a priest there who was the head of the music department. And she asked him if I could come in there after school. And did I say that? St. Martin's College. And he said yes. And so, oh wow, I have another shirt on under here. And so I had just suffered a broken heart, and I was really unwell. And also the drugs I'd been messing around with had taken a toll. And it had been my first tour, so all the hopes and dreams of my life had just taken place and come to me. And then it seemed like I lost them when I lost the boyfriend, which wasn't true, but that's how it felt. So I went back home to my mother and my family, and they took care of me, and I'm my best friend from high school. And at night, I would go to this empty classroom that had 2 pianos in it and fold-out chairs and the leftover air and feeling of school, and it was just what I needed. I was fairly new to the piano. I'd never had a piano, and I'm self-taught. And so I was playing around with this idea. You've been telling me you're a genius since you were 17, and all the time I've known you, I still don't know what you mean. I told this to Walter Becker while we were, he said, well, you'd never know it. But most of what we do is inspired by other things. Hopefully we, use the clay of it and make something brand new. Sometimes the original color still comes through and you can go, oh, they took that from Rickie Lee Jones, or oh, she took that from that. But maybe not. Maybe you would never have known that. Probably not. What I had on my mind was something very different. I say it was no game of chicken. You were aiming at your best friend. A switchblade on a chain around your neck, like that one you got in Mexico from your dad. Oh, your daddy had the booze, or your grando on the ice. benefits of love and taught her to stand tall when you kissed her, but that's not how you were thinking of her. I want to sing that to you, but I don't. I want to move on. I've heard that enough. So, oh yeah. We belong together. We belong together. All right. Howard and Natalie would not get sucked into a scene so custom tucked, and look who shows up here in the same place. In this case, it's better to face it. You're mine and we belong together. Yes, we belong together. Once this Johnny the King, he made a spit ring and all this kid kids saw a very proud man. Why, he entwined her in his fingers and they laid there like a baby in his hands. Climb upon the rooftop, dark looking out on the cross-down seas, and he wrapped his jacket across her shoulders and hugs her and holds her on his knees. But a sailor just takes a broad down to the dock and to the fair, maybe turn her into a tattoo that whispers into the back of Johnny's black hair. And now Johnny the King walks these streets without her in the rain, looking for his leather jacket and the girl who wrote her name forever. On the land, and all the signs in your heart and neon for them. Yes, they are fools and victims of sailors, ducky boys, you know. Once to have them hanging on to your shoulder. I said, Bird, we have to warn them, but they turn and ignore us. And the only heroes we have are written down before us. Only Angel, who sees us, watches through each other's eyes. I know in every footsteps passing sigh. He goes crazy now, watching heartbeats go by. They whisper, we belong together. We belong together. We belong together. We belong there's never a moment where I'm tired of the songs or I played them one too many times. They're like rooms, and they're already constructed. You go into them, they never change. I'm not always ready to go into those rooms. So let's go over to the guitars. I have a few things I wanted to do before the end of our Sunday time together. And if I didn't tell you already, I want to tell you. Oh yeah, if you want to donate anything, Venmo at Rickie-Jones-5, or whatever it says here, Rickie Lee Jones at MSRLLP, but that's hard for me to remember.com. So, and if you do PayPal, that's what that is too. Thank you. Gracias. Merci. And danke. And all those other sounds of gratitude. If you do or if you don't, I'm so glad that you came here. This is my second Sunday with you, and because I've only been doing this twice a month, but I'm thinking I might come every Sunday in June. I'm going to let you know, and in case you want to come back and see some of that. Yeah, let's see, what was I thinking of? Maybe this guy here. I'm going to try this. I've been thinking about this song for a couple weeks, but I'm not sure what will happen. But I know I want to do this song for you. How does that sound? Hear the guitar enough? Many is the time I've been mistaken, and many times confused. There it is. And I've often felt forsaken and suddenly I better do it in the other key. We'll see what happens. I know how to play it. Is it like singing that one or do it? Many the time I've been mistaken, many times confused. I have so often felt forsaken, certainly abused. But I'm alright, I'm alright. I'm just weary to my bones. Still, you don't expect to be bright and bold. when you're hiding in your home. We're all hiding in our home. I don't know a soul that's not been battered. Don't have a friend who feels at ease. I don't know a dream that wasn't shattered, driven to its knees. But it's alright, it's alright, 'cause we lived so well so long. Still, when I think of the road we're traveling on, I wonder what went wrong. I wonder what went wrong. Then I dreamed I was dying. I dreamed that my soul rose unexpectedly, looking back down at me, smiled reassuringly. Then I dreamed I was flying high up above. My eyes could clearly see Statue of Liberty sailing away to sea. I dreamed I was flying. Oh, we come on the ship they call the Mayflower. Then we come on the ship that sails the moon. We're coming to the age's most uncertain hour, and we'll sing an American tune. And that's alright, that's just alright. We can't be forever blessed. Still, tomorrow's gonna be another working day, and I'm trying to get some rest. I'm just trying to get some rest. Well, the thing about doing it at home in the living room is that I can do whatever I feel like doing. Maybe I didn't learn it, but I love it, so I played it for you. So these are interesting days, aren't they? So many of us can't go to work, and we can't go do the little normal things that help tell us who we are. I like to go to this coffee place in the Treme coffee house and get a coffee and greet the people and see. No, we can't do those things anymore. But we will do something like that again. And when it's getting you down, and you don't think it's going to do any damage at all. It's not a big deal, so you can stay home and worry about money. Always worried about money. There's an optimistic way to look at everything, almost, but it takes its toll. So I was thinking the other day, I wanted to remind you, the best we can do is treat everybody with compassion. It's so easy to think we know what's going on in the other guy and judge them by little markers that, if they're in the union, or if they wear those kind of clothes, or if that they must be this, but they don't have a mask on, they're my enemy. Don't do that with anybody, because everybody needs our compassion now. Especially in these days when so much money is made off of complaining and accusation. Just offer that much, and you'll be doing a good thing in the world. And I'll help. I'll learn it too. You do it, I'll see it, I'll learn how to do it. We teach each other. Don't we? We're going to do one more song. Something fun. How about, I was talking about the Last Chance Texaco. And Dr. John, I want to tell you that when I was a little kid, 14 and 15 years old, I hitchhiked around America, up and down the California roads, and I got a ride all the way to Detroit from Big Sur. I was going to meet some hippies there. I'm not sure why we were going to do that, but for me, the idea was having family and keeping my word. And I hitchhiked all the way to Chatham, Ontario, got to the park, sat on the bench, and nobody was there. I was the only guy who came. But long story short, there was one guy there. He was the guy who lived there. And I went over to his house, because back then you could crash with people, and smoking some dope. And somebody put this record on with a strange cover. Like, what is this? It's a Dr. John the Night Tripper. And he had on all this paraphernalia. And this music, this hypnotic music, was frightening, actually. And I was very high. Pot's never been good for me. And so he's going, come, kill, come, walk on gilded splinters. Come, kill, come, walk on gilded splinters. And one of the guys in the room was staring at me the whole time, I was 15, 14 years old. And then he stands up, still looking at me, and he undoes his trousers and drops his pants. I think he had underwear on, but I don't know. It didn't matter, because it was like, ah. And all the other people, when you're high, you don't really do anything. You just go, oh. And but it was clearly a gesture of love. And I just didn't know what to do, because it was so innocent and so frightening, so inappropriate. And his roommate said, dude, maintain, what are you doing? And the guy pulled his pants up and went back into the room. And I'll always associate men dropping their pants with come, killy, come for the rest of my life. And that's a wonderful story in the book, where the next day we tried to go to the USA and the FBI arrested me. And it's an amazing story of my life, how I ended up in the Detroit women's jail in 1960, on the 4th of July in 1969. I wanted to tell you that because I wanted to relate that story back to music somehow. And so anyway, the title of the book, The Last Chance Texaco. And I want to thank my friend Jamie, WOZ DJ, for helping me early in the morning after his late night radio show coming out of New Orleans from 12 to 3. What's the name of that show, Jamie?
Saturday Night New Orleans Radio.
Saturday Night New Orleans Radio. And he comes here early to help me do early morning Rickie Facebook. We're all talking to each other all over the world now, and it's so cool. I can't see a computer or anything, but I know you're there, and hello to everybody from Japan or Germany, Norway, Paris, or the South, or Belgium, or London, or wherever you are. Thank you for tuning in, and I just love to think of you there. Paraguay, Buenos Aires, Tahiti. I don't know if it's a good time for Australia, but if you're there, hey, hello to you too. This was written primarily because I used to run out of gas all the time, and I'm not sure why that is. I just could go another mile before I could, or I didn't have any money, but this thing of pushing things. And I had a friend, Mark, my ex-boyfriend, who I could always call, and he'd come right out and help me. Bring a gallon of gas, take me to the gas station, whatever needed. I could depend on him. A slow, easy Mark. It's a song full of double and triple entendre, if you know what I mean. A long stretch of headlights bend into I-9. They tiptoe into truck stops and sleepy diesel lights, while volcanoes rumble in the taxi and glow in the dark, and camels in the driver's seat. A slow, easy Mark. But you ran out of gas down the road a piece, and this battery is dead. The cables don't reach your last chance to check under the hood. Your last chance. She ain't sounding too good. Your last chance to trust the man with a star. You found the last chance. Texaco, the last chance. He tried to be standard, and he tried to be mobile, and he tried living in a world and in a shell. Black-vested blood, free parts of labor. But she broke down and died, and she threw all the runs he gave her. Now this one isn't fuel injected. The plugs are disconnected. She gets scared and stalls, but she just needs a man. That's all. Her last chance. Time love. Her last chance. She can't. I don't this slow. Her last chance. Turn her Texaco, the last chance. I had one more thing to tell you. Hold that thought. From this tired old piece of paper, whoever wrote it said this thing. Keep your mind pure for what you think you become. All that we are is a result of what we have thought. Blessed are the pure of heart, for they will see God. I see God most every day, right there, all around us. So I hope you enjoyed Rickie's service today and the hymns of Rickie Lee. Yeah. Love, 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 love. My guitars are just straining out of tune, so I'll come and play for you again unannounced. And thanks for coming. And I hope that was a fun way for you to spend some Sunday time. What you think? All right. Well, I don't want to say goodbye, but goodbye. Goodbye. Bye.